What's going on, everyone? This is a weekly Zoom hangout, breaking down A&M's upcoming opponent with someone who knows them well. That's Steve Virgen from. Why don't I let you go ahead and announce or tell everyone where you're from and where they can follow you and see your work, Steve.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. My handle is Steve Virgen. I work for the Albuquerque Journal. I've been covering the Lobos football team for the past 4 seasons. This is the 4th season covering them. And I'm also the assistant sports editor at Albuquerque Journal, abqjournal.com sports.
There you go. So this will take, for those of you who are expecting a weekly My Aggie Nation podcast as well, this will take the place of this as we set the stage for an A&M in New Mexico this week. And Steve, let's just start out with what are the biggest headlines for the Lobos heading into this game, and what are you excited to see or expecting to see from the Lobos this weekend?
Well, the coach told me not to make too much of it, but penalties from this game is a pretty big headline. The penalties over 100 yards. A few of them were personal fouls, and I wouldn't say that's the big headline, but I guess the big line is, they're very excited for the biggest game of their season. They start out against 2 teams they believed that they could win, and they won 2-0. And this is a big game for them as far as the season goes, as far as progress goes. It's all been a process for them to be improved and much improved from last season. They ended last season winning their final 2 games and a lot of momentum into this game. And, they don't really want to say this is like a test for them or where they're at in the season. It is part of the process of where they're trying to be and one of the best teams in the Mouse Conference.
Steve, I'm kind of interested. Terry Wilson came here before with Kentucky. How was the Lobos able to land Wilson, and how much do you feel he's added to the program?
Oh, he's had a lot of maturity. He's already established himself as a leader of the team. He's gotten really comfortable with the offense, and I think he's made the team believe that they can win and expect to win. It may not seem like that's a big deal, but around here for this couple of years, it's been, expecting to lose in a way, look that way. And as far as him being able to, or the Lobos being able to quarterback like that, I think when he went to transfer portal, Terry wanted to find a place where he can showcase his skills and throw the ball a little bit more. And I think that was one of the selling points they had when we recruited him. And offensive coordinator Werheim, his father, coached Terry in school in Oklahoma. So there was a connection there as well. And they were able to land a transfer quarterback with a lot of experience in big games.
Go ahead, Cease.
Interesting. What do you think about one up against this A&M defense? I know you were quite the press conference when he's talking yesterday about how good this defense is. What about Wilson in that passing game? Do you think they'll be able to have any kind of success here Saturday?
As far as success goes, I do believe they will be able to make some plays. It's all dependent on the offensive line. Going against a defensive line like A&M's, it's going to be quite the challenge. But I do see some playmakers that get some plays in Saturday's game. It's on the other side of the ball that's concerning. But as far as offense goes, we'll see, but these past couple games, they got into fast starts, and I'm expecting the same. We'll see.
How much was in the press conference was talked about Wilson's experience at A&M before when he was at Kentucky and they played here, and how much was the conversation that he can bring that, and he's been here and done that before?
Yeah, he was about a lot actually. In the press conference, and he talks to reporters every day as well. And he's kind of made other players believe that they can win a game like this, or even contend for a win in a big time college atmosphere. And he's made them believe because he's backed it up. He's been in big games like this. He won at Florida with Kentucky, and as far as leadership goes, where it comes in, so they believe him.
All right, everyone. Sorry, we experienced a little technical difficulties, but we have Steve back here on the phone line for us. And Steve, we'll just start back kind of where we cut out there before we had some of the technical difficulties, and that is talking about the kick return game for New Mexico. Was it as much? Was it they've been successful this year? Was that something you expected with this team, or did it come as a little bit of a surprise?
It came as a surprise to me. Yeah, it was unexpected, but it looks like they found a key guy as far as the return game goes, and Manny Logan Green. And he didn't do that much as far as returner last year, but he's really stepped it up this year, and he's fifth in the nation in all-purpose yards. And he almost took back a punt return for a touchdown last week against New Mexico State. He was about a couple of feet away from just breaking it all the way, but he took about 58 yards, and he's definitely a threat when it comes to kick return, punt return. He's also a receiver. But yeah, he's kind of stepped it up as far as special teams goes.
Mm-hmm. I know when we talk about Wilson too, going back to him a little bit, he's a guy that can throw it and can run it. A&M has had some struggles with quarterbacks that can run the ball so far in their first two games. How much of a threat has legs to Wilson and what he's been able to do and have success this season?
You know, in these past couple of games, when he takes off, it's been on design plays, and I haven't seen him use his legs when he needs to or when he has to, as far as pass rush goes. So we'll see how that goes. But he's definitely a threat when it comes to running, and he's broken a couple of big runs these past two games, and I think it's opened up the offense. It really has, and it just makes these playmakers that they do have more viable and more of a threat as well. But he definitely can take off when he needs to.
Steve, we talked about how Terry Wilson had played at Kyle Field before when he was at Kentucky. New Mexico played at A&M back in 2017. Are there any other guys on the New Mexico roster, maybe some fifth-year seniors or older guys that made that trip to College Station and have any recollection of that game?
Oh, I have to go back. I would only think there might be one. What year was that again?
2017.
2017. Yeah, I think there might be one. And Corey Hightower, he's a starting defensive back, plays corner, and he's had a couple of redshirt years and got the extra COVID year. So he did. I'm pretty sure he was at that game, but he might have been a redshirt back then.
Yeah. What was so in general, in covering the team this year, what has kind of been the expectation for the Lobos from not only the players and the coaches, but the fans for what would be a successful season, a successful mark for this program?
Oh, good question. I think last year they ended the season winning their last two games. So I guess expectations were just to kind of continue off that momentum and surprise some people in the Mountain West. They're picked last to be in the Mountain West. And I think fans or people that follow the team, they are expecting a improvement, significant improvement from last year. And like I said, it was only 2 games that they won last year in their 7-game season. And then with Terry Wilson being on the team, they're expecting the offense to be more explosive, the defense to be farther along than it was last season. With defensive coordinator Rocky Long, they're expecting a lot as far as that goes. And a lot of people believe they can surprise people in the Mountain West and contend for games. When I looked at their roster coming into this season, I was kind of impressed, especially with getting 14 seniors back because of the extra year of eligibility. I think that was a big help for the team, and for to get transfers like Terry Wilson. That's also picked up the team as far as their belief that they can win games. And I think they do have a chance to surprise some people in the Mountain West. They're going to definitely. I think they're going to be in games. They're not going to be getting blown out in Mountain West games. But we'll see.
For sure. Well, Steve, I guess one question is, what are some things that New Mexico is going to have to do in order to, be competitive against A&M and give itself a shot at pulling an upset?
A lot. It's going to take a lot. This is a ranked number 7 in the nation. I don't tell you guys, they're just a really great team. I think think they're gonna have to what they've done these past 2 games. I know it's against teams that they were supposed to win the games, but these past 2 games they really got out to a hot start, and I think it's something that they really focus on. I know a lot of teams do anyway, but it seems like their first 5-10 plays or so on offense are scripted, and I think that's been very important for them these past 2 games. I think it's going to be important for them every game. But for them to even have a chance, I think they do have to get out to a fast start and maintain it. Definitely have to create some turnovers, and I think a rocking along defense, which is 3-3-5, has been known to cause turnovers, and they definitely have to cause some turnovers and stay away from injuries. I think win or lose, that's a really key thing, is to stay away from injuries because of the Mountain West being such an important part of the season.
Yeah, I think, and to close it out here, we talked a lot about Wilson in the offense, and you mentioned the defense there. Who are some of the standouts on the defensive side of the ball, and some guys that probably might hear their name called a few times in Kyle Field this weekend?
Yeah, along the defensive line, they have a leader, and a quiet leader, but he's definitely a playmaker, and Joey Noble, one of those seniors I'm talking about that got the extra year. A little bit undersized, but he's very fast. He tends to make plays, and as well as a pass rush. As far as a linebacker goes, another senior with the extra year is Devin Sanders, and they look to him for leadership now, because he's that linebacking core is kind of inexperienced, and he's probably the only one. He is the only one that has noteworthy experience. And the secondary, Tavian Combs is their leader. Actually, he's only a sophomore, but he's grown up quick. Leads the team in tackles, and he's made a ton of plays these past 2 games. And like you said, I think that's a name that would be called during the game on Saturday.
For sure. Well, Steve, thank you so much for taking some time for us today. Be sure to check out Steve's stuff heading into the big game this weekend, and we'll have more coverage on the Eagle and theeagle.com for the game this weekend.